Oh, baby, it's that 10 subscribers special. Woo! You guys excited? It's 10 subscribers special.
I
Oh, I'm
mean,
fucking thrilled.
yeah,
Guys,
yeah. Let's do it.
it's the we have 10 subscribers. It's episode 19. Would have probably fit better if it was episode 20, but it's episode 19 of the Neon Nightcast podcast. I am your host, Michael Thraxx, and like always, I am joined by my co-host, Garrett Zagri, and Eric Dr. Soybean.
Thank you, or as I like to call the two of you, the Howard Stern and Fred Norris to my Baba Booey.
That's one's really easy to get because it's
I mean, I
just.
only know of all those. I only knew Howard Stern
How do you not know Baba Booey? It's like the ultimate man joke.
because I don't listen to Howard Stern.
Baba Booey, Bobby Booey, Howard Stern's penis, Baba Booey.
Yeah, that's got. No, I've never heard that before.
No, see, that's the thing though. It's the ultimate man joke. Garrett doesn't even. Garrett doesn't know what that is, and he still was
He still
laughing.
found it funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the ultimate man humor. So, speaking of man humor, great, totally good segue that totally relates is
I
our.
mean, if you're gonna segue like that, don't point
I
out when
love
you're doing a
pointing
segue.
out segues though.
Well, Mario's a plumber. That's a very manly
Well,
Right, we
job.
didn't.
I was
Wait,
gonna
wait,
say.
There you
guys,
go.
we didn't do our little indie joke this time.
Oh
Oh,
right.
fuck the indie joke.
Yeah,
That's so played out.
well, I was gonna. My segue was gonna be talking about men joke, men humor. The ultimate man is Mario, right? What's more manly than a Italian plumber and a prince like that's with a princess?
Like I feel like just a normal person that's not a plumber with a princess, like a king,
Well,
or like Prince Charming would be pretty manly. I think
Well,
that
it's
might be more
actually
manly.
he crushes living animals with his body weight.
it's actually funny that and appropriate that you made that joke though, because when Shigeru Miyamoto created Mario, or Jumpman as he was originally called, at the time, your video game heroes, it was all stuff like, I don't know, like futuristic things, like fantasy things is what I'm getting at. So Mario was the first kind of everyman character. It's like, he's just a humble plumber. Actually, he was a carpenter in his
Carpenter.
first appearance, but you get the point. He
He's had
was
a
he was
he's had a lot of jobs.
he was a blue collar normal guy as opposed to a fantasy character.
Well, actually, lately Nintendo has come out and said two pretty drastic things on like Twitter or whatever.
I
But
think I know what you're getting at, but go
Mario
on.
is not human, and Mario and the princess are not a couple.
They said that?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
yeah, they said that like they're not actually a couple, like they're just friends.
Well, someone needs to go to the Nintendo offices and confiscate the crack pipes, because what the fuck is that all about?
So
Yeah,
what?
okay. Like I don't. That
Yeah,
kind of that annoys me because like Mario.
they're just like this nice little couple. Like, why change that?
Yeah,
I guess it's 2017, right? Everyone.
maybe they're trying to get Mario and Luigi together because they're trying to be so progressive that they're trying to make incest okay.
Maybe they're trying to get Peach and Rosalina together. Then we really got something
Well,
going.
according to the game theorist, Rosalina is the daughter of Luigi and Princess Peach.
Well, he's a weirdo, but
Well, what we're gonna
they should
talk.
make that
What the
they should make
fuck?
that happen because I support gay marriage as long as both chicks are hot.
Oh, Eric.
That's a
When
joke.
when when
Anyways,
when when we
I'm
do have
joking. I'm
viewers, they are
kidding.
gonna be so upset. So, anyways, we're talking
You
about
can just put my email in the comments and they'll send the hate mail directly to me.
we're, what we're talking about today is just Mario in general. We're gonna talk about the main platformer series. We're gonna talk about the spin-offs like Mario Kart, Mario Party, learning to type with Mario. Mario is missing. Uh, just everything Mario.
Super
he's had
Smash
movies, he's
Brothers.
had TV shows. We've already talked about Smash Brothers, but maybe we'll jump into Smash Brothers.
I'm sure we'll touch on
I
it
wouldn't really
briefly.
consider it a Mario game, right? It's a Nintendo game. It's
Mario's on all the box covers of every Super Smash game.
So, anyways, let's let's start with let's start at the beginning then, boys. Since we're kind of a retro throwback kind of channel or podcast, what was the
Not really.
first?
We just did Rick and Morty last episode, but anyways, go on.
What was the you guys? Oh, you guys tonight. What was the first Mario game you played? We'll start with Garrett,
Mine,
as always.
mine was Super Smash Brothers.
Okay, but what was
Um,
other than
I
that?
mean, other than that, I don't think I ever. So I watched my brother play like Super Mario World on the NES or something like that.
Super NES.
Super NES, yeah, that's what it was. I never played it though, I don't think. But other than that, I think Mario Party for the N64, Mario Kart,
Yeah.
one of those two were probably my first one other than Smash.
When I was
Both
in
great games.
when I was in Texas for your brother's wedding, me and you stayed up late most nights playing Mario Party on Mario Kart.
Yeah, we had an emulator. That was pretty fun.
That was a
Although
lot
it's
of
hard
fun.
as fuck to play Mario Kart with a keyboard.
Yeah, I
It's only on
remember
one
you
Oh,
controller.
having
yeah.
Garrett was having a bad time, man. So Eric, I'm gonna assume Eric's was the original, but let's find out,
No,
shall we?
actually, as I'm thinking about it now, I actually told this story in a previous podcast, so I'll keep it brief. But it was actually Mario 3 for the regular
Ah,
Nintendo, and it was one of my earliest ever memories of playing a video game. It was at a friend of our parents' house, and they had an NES in the basement. I played Mario 3 and was blown away by it because at that time the only other thing I'd ever played was Atari. And that's what led to me begging for a Nintendo for Christmas, which led to us getting the Super Nintendo, which is probably a good segue into your first Mario game.
yeah. Super Mario World, I think, because I remember when we got it, I was like, I already knew what Mario was.
I'm pretty sure I just told you about it, and you hadn't actually played it yourself, though.
Yeah. So, but like the first one, I actually have like a memory of like it's a very faint memory of us playing Super Mario World in that house on Church Street.
Yes.
Yeah. Super Mario
Super
World.
Mario World was like the first one with like Yoshi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Goddamn Yoshi.
Super Mario World I would say is still, and I played all of them up until the four newest ones to the date of this recording. So there's like two of them on the DS, and then two of them on the Wii U, and then Odyssey, which is coming out. Haven't played any of those, but I would still say Super Mario World is the best. It's the mechanics in that game are so simple but so good, and then there's all these new little tricks and stuff that speed runners and task runners have found out how to play this game that make it just more than we ever thought it was, and there's just such like a high skill cap actually to that game of just how it plays.
Because of the spin jump.
Spin jump's really good. There's the ability to spawn blocks. There's the ability to hold two items at once. There's uh, abusing the invincibility from the cape, like invincibility frames, and just so on and so forth. There's stuff that, yeah, all of those tricks, you'll never have to use them in regular solo play of Super Mario World, but you download some ROM hack or something. That's the other thing with Super Mario World is there's like
Oh,
10,000 ROM hacks
yeah, the
just
hacking
available for you
community.
to download and play with those great
And
Super Mario World mechanics.
And you know what? Actually, a couple years ago, I actually got into that scene briefly and made about 5, 6 levels in my own hack. And I was joined in a forum that was for a hacking community where you could discuss like problems you had with the program and have people play test your game and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But the thing that really shocked me about this community of hundreds of people working on these hacks, I was one of the oldest people there. The
Yeah.
majority of the people making these hacks weren't even fucking born when that game was released.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you the staying power that
The
that game has.
yeah, the community for it is insane. Like, yeah, I've showed you him before, but Raukau is like a really famous, not a really famous YouTuber, but he's huge in that community. Everyone loves him. They even like send him gifts every Christmas. It's
Like
crazy.
Mario themed gifts.
No, it's like they do this thing and it's like he does like these videos as like an advent calendar kind of thing and like every day and it's just some one of his fans or one of his friends off these forums just send him a gift.
Huh. Well,
Either
yeah,
way,
some of them do stuff like I think I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but some of them they basically just make a new Mario game, whereas some of them change it so much, like they're using the game's mechanics, but it doesn't even look like Mario anymore.
yeah, he
Like
was the
when I saw being played, it was like a little anime witch girl riding a broom instead of Mario.
yes, he wasn't the one that did that. Uh,
But anyways,
yeah,
yeah, even if they don't make a Mario hack, they make a hack using the
yeah,
mechanics of that game.
I
I
think
mean,
it's
so are basically what you're talking about with these hacks is it's just Mario Maker, right?
No, it's a program called Lunar Magic that existed prior to Mario Maker, and it has a lot more. You can do a lot more with it than Mario Maker.
But it's
Mario
like the same
Maker,
concept as Mario Maker. You're making your own
same
Mario
concept,
levels.
yeah,
same concept, yeah. But
yeah,
you have a lot more freedom with Lunar Magic.
Well, that makes sense because I mean, I feel like Mario Maker, it's actually Nintendo that released that, so they
Right.
want to limit what you can do.
Not only that, but they want it to
Versus,
be very simple and user friendly.
yeah.
I think
Whereas to do a
super.
lot of the sorry.
No, go on.
No, I was just gonna say to do a lot of the crazier stuff in Lunar Magic, you have to like implement patches that people wrote and sometimes write code yourself if you really want to do you
Yeah,
know the crazy things with it. Whereas Mario Maker, it's mostly just cut and paste essentially.
yeah. Well, yeah, I know that. So a couple of really good hacks were the VIP series. They were made by a Japanese guy, and they're really good. And I'm trying to remember the one that Raukau made. It stars a little Cyclops girl, but
Oh, I know that one. I can't think of the name, but I know the one you mean.
yeah. So let's just move on from that then, because I'm never gonna remember it. Uh, I guess I already answered my own question. Like, so what's your favorite Mario game? I'll have something else to say at the end, but go on, Garrett.
Um, Honestly, I don't know. Like, because all these Mario games just turn friends into bitter, resentful enemies. Like
Oh, the
playing Mario
competitive
Party,
ones definitely.
like Mario Party, it
Oh
will
yeah,
it can ruin friendships.
yeah,
Like I remember hating my brother. All three of my brothers sometimes after playing some of these Mario Party games
yeah,
because like you just get fucked over and it's just like you were first place and then suddenly after everyone goes through their turns you're fucking sitting in fourth with like 10 coins and everyone else has like four fucking stars.
yeah,
It just
Or, or
I don't
just like
know.
something happens in the game that you don't want. It's just like, yep, of course Peach would go that way, and you're just like fucked.
Yeah, and then
Well,
like in the Wii U one there's an option like you can land on a Bowser tile and then Bowser has like this spin like a Jeopardy wheel type of thing. And there's one option where you can get gifted like 99 or 900 coins or something like that. And I remember one of my little brothers fucking landed on that. Like I had never seen it before. I thought it was just in there to fucking taunt you. I thought it wasn't an actual option of being chosen
Yeah.
because I'd never seen it chosen before.
Doesn't
And
Bowser
then
just run
my
away?
fucking little brother gets it. Yeah, he does run away. He doesn't give you any coins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But still, like, I was pretty angry when it happened, and then afterwards, after I realized that you don't actually get coins, I was fine.
Yeah.
But still,
Oh,
that game can seriously make you hate people.
Nothing's worse than when like just not you, but someone else lands on a hidden star panel and they just get a star for nothing, and you're like, how is that fair? But I remember
It's not fair. Nothing about Mario Party is fair. Like, you could win all the fucking mini games you want, and you could still lose.
Yeah, I remember. So we used to go to a babysitter's back when we were really young, and there was a shit ton of kids that went to this babysitter's, and we would try to we would play Mario Party, and we would be like, let's win, let's unlock everything, let's get enough stars to get enough coins to buy all the mini games, and we'll just do this together, and there'd be the four of us, and you'd still play to win. You'd still steal all their fucking stars and all their coins and be a piece of shit. It's like we could just all have a good time and just play, but just the greed of man takes over and you just want to win.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Like, you just become so greedy. I think it's because like you're playing a video game. Like, you wouldn't be this kind of asshole in real life. If you are this kind of asshole in real life, like, you deserve something worse than hell. Because like in Mario Party, there's such fucked up things you can do. You can, oh god, it's just
Also in the very first Mario Party, there's that part where you have to rock the joystick back and forth, I think 100 times or something like that within a very short time period. And
it was winding up a Shy Guy toy, and you would just rotate the N64 controller.
right, so people found the fastest way to do that was to put the palm of your hand on top of the joystick and just move your hand across it really fast. But the little analog stick of the N64 controller has ridges on it, so your thumb grips it better. So when you rub it like that across the palm of your hand, people were actually ripping the living shit out of their hands to the point where they'd bleed all over their controller. And it got to the point where Nintendo, if you sent them proof of purchase of Mario Party, they would actually mail you a fucking glove that you could wear while you did that.
Yeah, I remember whenever we would
Holy
rent
shit.
Mario Party 1, my fucking hand would bleed.
Yeah, I had a
Damn,
friend.
That's crazy. Like, I've never heard of that. I can't believe that actually made you bleed.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm not kidding. I had a friend who did it to the point. He did it. He tried to do it once, and he literally failed with one less than what he needed to do, and that pissed him off so much that when he tried it again, he just went completely ape shit on it. And when he was done, he looked down at his hand, and there was a hole ripped in it and blood across his controller.
God damn.
So
they should have just started selling gloves with the game at some point instead of proof of purchase. Just you walk into the game store, you buy it, and they give you a free fucking glove.
Yeah, or just start putting the glove in the box.
Yeah.
So
I thought the only game they should have given out gloves for was Leisure Suit Larry or maybe Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but why would you want a glove for that? They need to give you a coupon for lotion and tissue or something.
Okay, so I did some off-screen Googling, and the ROM hack that Raquel made, and he's a really good level maker, is called a Super Mario thing.
Oh, I know that one just by the title.
Yeah, that's the one with the
really
Cyclops
famous.
girl.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So, Mario Party. Eric, what is your favorite Mario game?
Well, I'm going to give a two-tiered answer because, first of all, in my mind, there's there's Mario platforming games, and then there's everything else like the party games, the racing games, the sports games, but I include those under the umbrella of party games.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're talking traditional Mario platformer, I really, really like 3 for the NES, but like you, I've got to give it to Super Mario World. Just I think that game is like near perfection in its mechanics and the fun of it and everything.
It it
Um,
it is. It is a perfect game.
Now there are things about 3 that I do think are superior to World. I like that 3 actually has more power ups than World. I mean, the hammer suit is awesome. They should have had that something like that in World. Uh, and I like how in 3 the 8 worlds all have extremely different themes, whereas that's not as evident in World. So there are things about 3 that I like better, but on the whole, I would give it to World. Um, and then if we're talking party games, I gotta go with Mario Kart 64. I liked the Super Nintendo one. I've played a couple of the later ones than that for GameCube and even for Wii, but I still think to this day that the best they ever made was Mario Kart 64. All the tracks are really fun. The control is really fluid, and I love the battle mode in that one. The battle mode courses in that one are amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree on that. Like Mario Kart 64, I remember playing that like all the time. Like if we weren't playing Smash on our 64, we're playing Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's just such a fun game to. I mean, I remember playing that at that babysitter's Mike talked about. I remember playing it at her stepsister's house. I remember playing it at our dad's house with our dad and our sister. Um, and also, uh, a lot of the Mario Kart games, for some reason, after that, when they do battle mode, you're doing battle mode on racetracks, which I always thought was stupid. The Super Nintendo one and the N64 one, they both gave you separate courses just for battle mode, which is far superior.
So in the
And
new ones, you said like so in the old ones, yeah, there were different courses for battle mode. So the new ones, how do they do battle mode if you just had the
I
course
think it
like
has
the normal tracks?
separate ones.
but it's like I remember playing one where like I think it might have been one of the GameCube ones. And it's like okay, let's do battle mode, but it's on like a racetrack. It's not like an arena like it was for the older games.
Mm, I don't know, because the one for the GameCube was Double Dash, and it was. I think it still had arenas.
I don't know about that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I just didn't really like the battle mode courses for the later ones. But I'm thinking of Block Fort in Mario Kart 64. That to me is like the ultimate perfect battle arena. If
Yeah,
you guys remember that one.
yeah. So Mario Kart. Okay, so platformers, 2D. I give it the Super Mario World. My runner-up is Mario 2. 3D
Mm.
ones. I really like Mario 64. I really like Sunshine. But I think my favorite is Galaxy 2. Uh, that one is really good. Um, but
Well,
then
real
what?
no, I was gonna say real quick before you get on to Galaxy, you just briefly mentioned two, and I just want to say I think that's kind of interesting because that game has a completely different mechanic than pretty much any other Mario game, with
I
the
think
picking up and the
I
throwing
think
vegetables.
I think that it worked really well for it. We all know it's not an actual Mario game, but
Right, the story's been done to death. No need to mention
it's
it.
it's just I liked it more than I ever liked 3. I just something about 3 I just not a big fan of.
Let's not get into it because
I
we've had
think
arguments about
I
that
always
before.
thought that 3
Turned
was
ugly.
3 just felt way too long. There's just so many levels that the mechanics are just like or like the theme of it is just nothing. Like it's just not
I
fun
will agree with
enough.
you. It's a very long game, especially if you're trying to play it in one sitting, because unlike the later ones, you can't save. Um, the only time I've ever beaten it in one sitting, actually, one of my old girlfriends we did it like passing the controller back and forth between levels so that each person could take a break, and we beat the entire thing in one sitting. But I agree with you that if you were going to, as an individual, beat it all in one sitting, no. Unless you're playing the All Stars version, which lets you save.
Yeah.
But anyways,
But
go
then
on
it's a
about
fucking-
Galaxy.
It's a weird fucking port.
Well, it is. It's weird because for some reason, Garrett maybe doesn't know, Super Mario All Stars was a game they released for Super Nintendo, and it let you play all three of the original Mario games for the regular Nintendo, plus the Japanese Super Mario 2, which had never been released over here. But it also let you save your game between levels and worlds, which wasn't on the original Nintendo. So you would think it would be really good because it's all these games in one, and you can save, and it's updated graphics. But the control has this weird, slippery feel to it. That kind of makes it awkward.
So, like, before All Stars, then how long would a single playthrough take of Super Mario World or Brothers, whatever?
Or you mean of like for the original Nintendo?
Yeah.
Well, the first two, like the original and two, weren't that long. Like you could probably get through, like the first one you could get through in 20, 30 minutes. Two,
the
you
world
could probably
record
get,
is like 4 minutes and 57 seconds.
yeah, using warps. But I'm talking like playing all the way through. But two, you could probably get through in maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half tops. Three, you're probably looking at 3-4 hours because that's a really long game.
Yeah.
And then, so like with Super Mario World, could you save?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was
Okay.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I think
Okay. All right.
so. Yeah. World and 2. 64.
And then you yeah.
Sunshine, Mario Galaxy 2. Though it's really hard to pick between the 3D ones. And then party ones, I would have to give it to Mario Kart 64. The first 4 Mario parties are really good. Mario Tennis for the N64 I really liked. And then Mario Golf for the GameCube. Me and our dad, Eric, like we had hours into that game, man. We just used to fucking play that all day.
Yeah. You know, it's weird how fun a lot of golf games are. Like, as boring as golf is in real life, a lot of golf video games are actually pretty fucking fun.
Yeah, I remember like there was just like a bunch of weekends that I'd go up and we would just be like watching Smallville and playing like Mario Golf. Just like the entire weekend. But yeah, Mario Kart 64. The Super Nintendo one's good. The GameCube one's good. The new one looks decent. None of the handheld ones look that good. But there's something about Mario Kart 64 that is just so fun. Like, I've had Tinder dates where we play Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, anyone between the age of like 20 and 40, or even older or younger sometimes, will love that game. It's just one of those games that has almost universal appeal.
It's just such a good game. Like, it's just so fun. So who's your racer in Mario Kart 64?
Garrett,
Mine
always
was
go
always
first.
Mario. Mine was always Mario because my older brother, who I played with the most, always chose Yoshi because Yoshi was always his character in Smash and whatever it was.
Yeah.
So mine was always Mario.
I always used Bowser, both because I liked him and because I liked his mechanic of like slow to speed up, but once you get going, you have the highest speed, and plus you're heavy, so it's hard for other carts to knock you around.
Yeah. I know growing up I was all about Yoshi. It's funny that you say that about your brother cuz like your brother is just I feel like he was just a scumbag in every fucking game, man.
Why do you say that?
Cuz just that's just how he like plays games. Like he just
A
finds
scumbag?
yeah, like he just
No, he's not. Like I know what you mean, but he's not. Like So
Okay, maybe scumbag's
whenever
not
you
the
say
right
scumbag,
word, but
you
you
make
know
me
what
think
I'm
of
talking about.
you make me think of like Monopoly, where my dad
He probably
my
fuck you
dad
over in
would
Monopoly.
no, my dad is way fucking worse. Like my so there's this kind of joke where whenever we play a board game, my dad makes his own rules and plays by them instead of the actual
Oh,
rules
what an
that come in the
asshole.
fucking board game. So I yeah, I don't think Gabe he plays by the rules, but like I don't think he's a scumbag either. Like he doesn't like look for cheats or like cut corners to win.
I feel like he would just, I don't know, like picking Yoshi and like in Smash Brothers or something. I just feel, I don't know.
Dude, and like in Smash Bros, like he's not someone that. So if you watch Smash tournaments, there's always that one person that standing away from the fight because they want to save their stock, so they can basically be the last person standing.
Camping.
Gabe was never that person. Gabe was always the person that would just charge in and like try and
Interesting.
kill everyone. So
Interesting.
yeah, he like camping. Yeah, Gabe is not a camper. So in any game, like he hates camping in like shooters. Whenever he used to play those, he despised campers.
Hmm. I know that. So now, though, in Mario Kart, I either go, well, Mario Kart 64, I either go DK or Wario. Just
They have
because,
the Bowser mechanic.
yeah, DK is really good. Wario is good too. Um, but when I played Mario Kart 8, I picked Rosalina because Rosalina is Bay.
Don't
Uh
stop it.
okay, hottest Nintendo princess. You're saying Rosalina?
Yeah,
I gotta go with that classic Peach, man.
Garrett.
I don't have one. Could care less.
Gun to your head. One of the
Um,
three.
Kyrie.
Paulina.
No, Garrett's gonna choose Birdo.
Oh yeah,
I don't
Birdo.
even know all of them. I only know Peach and Rosalina.
There's also
Who's
Daisy, the
that?
brunette.
Who's the green? Yeah, the green one that was supposed to be Luigi's girlfriend, but apparently Peach is Luigi's girlfriend, and Rosalina is their love child.
Rosalina is the green one.
The one with
Daisy's
the
the
green
brunette.
dress and like which one? Because were there two princesses in Mario Kart 64?
No.
No, there was just Peach.
Oh, okay. Well, pick one for me, I guess. I don't care.
Okay, because I said Peach and Mike says Rosalina. Garrett gets Daisy. There we go.
I'll take Daisy.
Yeah. So do you have a least favorite Mario game? Like one you just hate?
Any Mario Party?
No, but that's a
Literally
that's a
any
that's a
love-hate
love-hate. Yeah.
relationship.
No, I don't like playing them at all. I really don't.
Come on.
I don't look forward to playing them. Even before you start. I'm not looking forward to it. I absolutely hate Mario Party.
All right, I guess we'll have to accept that answer.
Because I know what's coming.
Yeah.
Fucking hatred and bitterness and resentment towards one another. That's all that you get out of Mario Party. One person's fucking happy, everyone else
Miserable.
hates that person.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think Mario Party has at least the first four ones. I think I'm mostly thinking about two. There is a way, like as long as you have bonus stars on, even if you're not in first, you can win without being in first, right? You just have to be really good at mini games. You have to have the most coins, the most happening spots, and you get bonus stars for that. So there is some kind of strategy to Mario Party, at least Mario Party 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but even then, you still have to collect coins in game, and if you get your coins stolen, you're fucked. Even if you get the bonus coins.
Yeah, I always thought it was dumb because it just took like your end amount of coins and not like the total coins that you had the entire game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
yeah, Eric, is there a Mario game you just don't like?
Well, honestly, any of the main games I've ever played, whether it's the platformers or the party games, honestly can say that I've never played one that I thought was shit. I
Yeah.
mean, there's obviously ones that I like better than others, but they've never really made a bad mainstream Mario game. If I had to pick the worst one I've ever played, I would have to go with a game that we rented a lot back in the day.
Oh
Mario is
man.
Missing, which was
I
their attempt to make an educational Mario game. And we rented it more than once, God knows why. Just because I guess we loved Mario so much, it was something familiar, so we rented it. But it was just this boring ass game where you were supposed to go around as Luigi and find historical objects that would eventually lead you to Mario. And
so yeah, the so Mario's Missing. You would you went into Bowser's castle and you'd pick a warp pipe and you'd get put into a city and you'd have to walk around and you talk to the locals and they just say whatever. They would just give you like clues to where you are, and basically you have to find items by killing Koopas, and then you have to go to information booths and return that item, which would be a historical monument or painting or whatever for that city. And that's basically you would figure out what city you were in, and then you would make Yoshi. Then you have to bring Yoshi on the world map to that city so you could exit the level because there'd be a pokey in the way. And then so
some
basically
horse
by
shit like that.
yeah, so but basically by doing all that, you would beat the level, and then after you beat X amount of levels, you'd fight like a really shitty boss fight, and then you just do it all over again until you get to Bowser, and then Bowser's not even a boss fight; it's just like a cutscene.
Yeah. So I can easily say that's by far the worst. But I mean, I give them somewhat slack in that they were clearly trying to make an educational game, but why? Why?
Well, that's
I
the
guess.
thing is the actual idea of it is really not a bad idea. Like if you just had more of like platforming elements and just a little more things to do other just walking up and down streets and jumping on turtles that can't even hurt you,
Yeah, but I
well,
mean,
maybe it could
playing a
actually be a fun game.
yeah, but playing a Mario game to learn history, that's like hiring a plumber to do anal surgery. It just like it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make
I think
sense, but
I
I'm
think your comparisons are a little off. But
but I think if somebody actually put effort into making it a fun game, it could be a fun and educational game.
I guess. Anyways, what about you, Mike? Same answer, or you got something different?
Well, I think I already kind of talked about it was Mario 3. I
You
just
can't say that that's a shit game,
I don't
though.
think it's shit, but it's definitely not one of my top tier favorite Mario games. There's a lot more Mario games I would play before that one.
You like it? You think it's worse than the original? Now, I respect the original. I think it was a good game for its time, but I definitely think it's aged by far the worst of all of the ones for the Nintendo.
I'm thinking about it, and yeah, I think I'd much rather play the first than the third.
Huh.
Because, like, the third, for me, by the time you're getting into the fourth world, you're, like, tired of it. And it and there's just so much more to it. But then you could just use, like, whistle warps, right? And then what's the point? You're just, like, at the end of the game.
I guess.
There's
You
just something about it that I just don't like. I really don't know how to put my hand, like, my finger on it.
all right? Well, I'll have to accept that.
yeah, you ain't got a choice, Eric.
You ain't got no freaking choice. So let's talk about okay. We're okay. Um let's talk about the movie. and the TV
Jesus.
shows.
Okay.
Well, let's start with the TV show because it came first. And
Well, which TV show?
well, I'm talking about the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. What are you talking about?
Oh, there's been 3 shows. There was the Super Mario Super Show. There was the show that was based around Super Mario 3, and then there was
But
a show based around Super Mario World.
but those were segments within the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Like
Were
what the
they?
Super
I don't
yeah,
think
what
they
the Super
were.
they were. What the Super Mario Brothers Super Show was, for those who don't remember, which is probably 90% of our audience because I barely fucking remember it. But basically, what it was, you had a live action segment at the beginning with Mario, played by pro wrestler Captain Lou Albano, who also played Cyndi Lauper's father in all of her music videos in the 80s, and his brother Luigi. And they would do some dumb little comedy sketch, and then they would show a cartoon. And the cartoon was at first based on Mario 3. Later, it became cartoons based on Mario World, and every Fridays they would instead show a cartoon based on Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
And
It's an interesting show. Uh all I can remember is they had Magic Johnson on it before he had AIDS.
he guest starred in an episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Eric, so what I found on Wikipedia, the source of all information on our show, um, Super Mario Show was separate from the other two, from Adventures of Super Mario 3 and Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying that they did show one of the cartoons and the Zelda cartoon on the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, but one of them was its own separate show?
Yeah, the Super Mario World
Yeah, so
show.
the Super Mario Bros. Super Show was like from 1989 to 1989 apparently. But
Must
Super
have been
Mario
longer
Brothers
than that.
3, Super Mario Brothers 3 show was 1990s, and then Super Mario World was 91.
Yeah. So they were separate
I
shows.
think I think
I
no, I
think you're
think
just
that's
remembering it wrong.
no, I think that's the dates that those cartoons were becoming. Like in '91, it became the Super Mario World, but it was still a segment within the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
That's not what Wikipedia is showing me. Like it says they're their own separate shows
Yeah,
with
I'm
their own separate episodes.
pretty sure
But
they
did
were
they?
separate.
But they do indicate there that the Super Mario Brothers Super Show was like a live action segment, and then they showed a cartoon, correct? Because that was the format of the show. I'm
That was the
positive of
format
that.
of the Super Mario Super Show, yes. But I'm like 99% sure that at least the Super Mario World show was its own
Was
show.
its own show.
Yeah.
All right, well maybe you're right about that. Huh.
So, uh, it was trippy as hell, man. Like they had, uh, there's a scene. So I think the guy, I know in the movie they were drunk, but the show, the wrestlers that played them were like shitty actors, and I think one of them was drunk all the time. And there's one part where Mario clearly just goes like under his breath. He's like, "Fuck you, Luigi."
Kidding me?
Yeah, you can YouTube it.
Okay, so along with that, what Mike just said, on Wikipedia it says, in one episode, Lou Albano has to portray himself, literally forcing his Mario character to leave the scene, change his clothes, come back as
That's
himself.
some pokeroo shit.
And then in that episode, Cyndi Lauper's there saying she's looking for Lou Albano.
Oh, 'cause
That's
he was like,
so weird.
yeah, they had this weird relationship in the '80s where like she would accompany him to the ring for matches and stuff, and he was her father in her music videos, and she managed this woman wrestler Wendy Richter, but then she abruptly stopped appearing with WWE because the hot rod Roddy Piper, who starred in the fantastic '80s movie They Live, in a segment in the ring, he kicked her in the stomach for real. And she got pissed at that, and he claimed that he was told that it was discussed with her beforehand, and she claims that nobody asked her and he just booted her out of nowhere. So then she fucked off from WWE.
Jesus.
I mean, yeah, that pissed me off too. Like, have this professional wrestler, these
Yeah.
guys are fucking buff as shit. Just kick you in the stomach.
I think, yeah, poor girl. She's like, she was tiny, man.
Yeah, she's pretty small.
So quickly, the Super Mario Super Show and the other shows, and then the Philips CDI games, they like invented, or like not invented, but they were like the inspiration for YouTube poops, which were like really early YouTube comedy videos.
And very meme like, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
But yeah, the whole lots of spaghetti thing
lots
that
of
came from
spaghetti, all
that came from the
toasters,
CDI game.
all toasters toast toast, Mama Luigi, just classic memeage.
Well, because let's be honest, those cartoons were pretty fucking shitty.
Yeah, like the only reason why we ever watched them was they were like because there was Mario.
I did like the Zelda cartoon though, because it was
Yo,
always
the
like
Zelda
the Zelda
cartoon is
cartoon.
actually
They made
good.
Dude, they made Link into this like really like smarmy
Like
douchebag, but it was
surfer
awesome.
teenager.
Yeah, and he was
Excuse me, princess.
yeah, but he was thirsty as fuck for
Yeah,
Zelda,
every
and he would do stuff like every episode he would save her life, and he'd be like, "I saved your life, kiss me."
yeah, no, he'd catch her and just like she'd be like, "Oh, thanks, Link," and he'd be like, "Kiss me," and she like. Yeah, dude, he was fucking hilarious in that show. He's one of my favorite like portrays of like Link, man.
So we should talk about the movie.
Let's talk about the movie. Let's talk about the movie. The movie what year did it come out?
I want to say
93.
93.
It was
Yeah,
a
93.
disaster. It's
So,
on record that the main guy Mario was drunk like the entire fucking time.
Well, here's the thing. I read something about this, and apparently the biggest problem with the movie, it was one of those things where you had producers who were at war with each other over what the movie should be,
Yeah.
because half the producers wanted it to be a family-friendly kids movie, and the other half wanted it to be some dark, gritty teen movie. So the end result was a bizarre mishmash of the two.
I could see that.
Yeah, it says on Wikipedia once again, 4 drafts were written. The first one was written by two of the producers, I guess, which wanted to focus on a comedy of fairy tales, and the other one was a story focusing on Mario and Luigi attempting to rescue a princess named Hildy from Koopa.
See, that's so far back that like yeah, like Princess Toadstool. I guess she was in the original, right?
In the movie, I believe it was Princess Daisy actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Princess Daisy. Yeah.
See, that's because she was from the
Game Boy game Mario
yeah.
Land.
So it's so like I guess if they made a Mario movie now, like the lore is more set, right? Like you would have more to go off of. Where back then, like there must have been like 2 Mario games.
I mean, come on though. You could have made a better movie than this. I feel like if you had gone any other direction.
Yes, the movie that was made was just awful, and it's so
hilarious
surreal.
To watch, though.
It's such a strange experience. I remember having very weird sexual feelings because like I was a child, I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but like when like Yoshi was like licking Toadstool or Daisy's legs, and I was just like, what's going on? Which
So
like
that's what I mean. The movie,
like why was I watching this?
It would go from like these weird, goofy cartoon moments and these goofy cartoon-looking monsters to like weird shit like that, and then like Bowser's wife getting like zapped and turned into a skeleton. So it was, you could see like the mixture of these two fucking visions that
Yeah.
just didn't work together.
Yeah, I remember one part they're like, it's look a Goomba, and it's like the big guy with the little head, and me and you, Eric, were like, that's not a fucking Goomba. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
because like all the Goombas wore like these suits, and then
Yeah,
all that would poke out is like this like little. It's like a raptor head, like a
yeah.
dinosaur head.
Okay, but they had bum arms in it, and that I guess Mario 2 was out.
Yeah, well, it was 93. World was out.
Oh shit! Yeah, okay. Jesus.
So they had a lot of lore to draw on. I think even Bowser's sons were in the movie, at least a few of them.
Ah, there's a good topic. The Koopa Kids. The Koopa Kids are one of my favorite things about.
So underused though. They were introduced in 3, they returned for World, and then they were gone for like 12 years.
See, I've seen people online complaining about them. They're like, "Oh, they're like in everything now," but like they're all such cool design characters that like I really don't mind them. They're better designed than Bowser Jr. because Bowser Jr. is essentially just baby Bowser.
And they're all named after famous musicians of various eras and genres. And Wendy Koopa is named after a punk musician who has a video of her firing ping pong balls out of her vagina. And I'm
See,
not even kidding.
yeah,
That's a real thing.
you have like Ludwig, who's named after a classical artist up until like yeah, like a rocker from the '90s. Like
Yeah, and
they're
Lemmy's named after the guy from
Motor,
Motorhead.
yeah, Motorhead. So yeah, I thought the Koopa Kids were really good, but I've seen people complain about them.
Well, people complain about everything.
I haven't seen enough of them to complain about them because literally, of all these Mario games, I've only watched Super Mario World,
Yeah,
played the N64 one, I
Mario
think.
64.
Yeah, that one.
And then a bunch of the party games, of course.
yeah, all the party games, and then the Wii Mario World one. I
See,
don't know.
the general rule is if it's on the N64, you can just assume that it has the word 64 at the end of the title.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have one more question for you guys, and yeah, I think it's yeah. So I got one more question. Is is Mario your favorite Nintendo franchise? And if not, what is?
Um. So I guess I'll go first, as always. But no, mine is Legend of Zelda. This is my favorite franchise, just because I feel I've played just as many Legend of Zelda games, and I like the story more, especially now that I know that Mario and Peach are just friends. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, because Zelda and Link are banging in the bed, right? There's
Yeah,
no fan theories to disprove that.
their souls are intertwined. Like in Skyward Sword, I think it's pretty heavily implied that they're like becoming a couple.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, The Legend of Zelda. I played like the original Zelda up to a point as a kid, and I forgot most of it. And then I played Majora's Mask,
which is one of
and
my favorite games ever.
then I played Skyward Sword, which apparently was garbage. I thought it was all right. And
Yeah.
then I have not played Breath of the Wild yet because I don't have a Wii U. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I would have to say yes. It is my favorite franchise of Nintendo. I like Zelda a lot as well. I like Pokemon a lot if you consider that a Nintendo franchise. I don't know if you do or don't. Um,
I you know when I guess when like what I had in mind was
like just Nintendo, no other
just
development company.
Nintendo, like Star
Yeah.
Fox.
All right. So
You know,
I can
yeah.
safely say it's Mario. I do like Zelda a lot, but Mario is definitely my favorite because if I'm ever not in the mood, really in the mood for a video game, but I feel like I want to play one anyways, I know there's always like the Mario games, the good platformers. They're the type of game you can always throw one on and have fun with it.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to Mario.
So, like Mario, I do like Zelda. Majora's Mask is really good. I was gonna say Earthbound, but that's third party. I don't think it's like falls under the direct Nintendo. But my favorite, if Earthbound doesn't count, is the Metroid series.
It says it was developed by Ape and HAL Laboratory, published by Nintendo.
Yeah. Okay, so let's not count Earthbound. But yeah, so the Metroid series, Metroid Fusion, Super Metroid, even the original. The original's pretty good for a NES game because I'm not a big NES guy. I don't like going too far back. But the original is really
NES is
good.
amazing. Fuck you. But yeah,
Even the 3D ones, I had a lot of fun playing on the GameCube and Wii. But
yeah. And hey, Zero Suit Samus. I mean, come on, we're guys, right?
yep, we're men.
Yeah, Zero Suit Samus is my favorite person to play in the current Smash games.
Dude, there's just like Nintendo was just like, okay, we have to like design this Samus character. Let's make her a girl. Okay, little 2D girl, whatever. Then when they were like, let's like draw her, they were like, let's design the hottest girl you could imagine.
Let's
And they
give
just did
every
it.
teenager wet dreams over our fucking game.
It was just like I remember purposely dying in Metroid, Super Metroid, just to see her. Because when you would die in that game,
Her suit would explode
explode
off, and
off.
you, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. But anyways, those games are
Memories.
so good, and it's a shame that Nintendo kind of hates the Metroid franchise because, fuck, man, like,
Didn't they release a new Metroid game recently?
they announced one and it looks kind of bad. But like, because
Oh,
last year it was like the 25th Kirby or something, and like 4 games were made that year, and
And then they didn't do anything for Metroid's
yeah, it was like
anniversary.
Metroid's like 30th, and they literally like not a single Metroid game.
That is weird.
But like Super
no,
Metroid is one of the best Super Nintendo
I think
games.
I think they
Metroid
like
Fusion is one of the best Game Boy Advance games.
I think at this point they like Samus the character more than they like the Metroid series. They make a lot of use of Samus, and she's definitely a very marketable character, but not so big on the series
But
itself.
oh, for the longest time, I didn't even realize that Samus was a female because I had never played any of the Metroid games. The only game that I'd ever played with Samus in it was Smash Bros. So whenever I figured out that it was it was a woman, I was just like mind blown.
just mind
Oh, like
fucked.
the original Smash Bros, where she's just in the suit, no Zero Suit.
Yeah, Smash Bros.
Yeah.
64.
Yeah, I remember like so when we first got Super Metroid, the we used to live in a basement and there was this kid that we used to hang out with that lived above us. And me and him thought Samus was a dude and we thought he was so badass looking. But then when we died and we saw that it was a girl, we were like making up stupid headcanon that uh like the alien DNA must have changed him to a female or some dumb shit. And then as I got older, I learned to just be like, no, Samus is just a badass chick, man. Um, but yeah, like I don't know why they hate it because it spawned a totally new uh like type of game. Like they call them Metroidvanias, but like Castlevania was linear until Symphony of the Night, which copies the Metroid formula of like crawling around a big dungeon. And then even as a 3D shooter, Metroid really works. And I just really like the lore and the universe. And yeah, all the main characters are all really cool looking.
You like the cosplay of Zero Suit Samus?
Yep.
Oh, there's some great ones out there. Like they like twerk, they like twerk and stuff in the Zero suits. And
All right, that's a good one.
enough said about that.
I'm gonna go hit up Galboro, and I'll see you everyone next time.
Goodbye.
Why?